You know what time it is. Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Hello.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel at Libra Aesthetics and Wellness. I'm Aisha Thomas, MD, the medical director.
And I'm Lisa Parker, the nurse practitioner.
And today's topic is on our anti-aging program. So today we'll go through what really is aging, what is healthy aging, the components that will be helpful in having a good quality of life, and the supplements that might be helpful along your journey, and a program that might be helpful for you to maintain your vitality throughout your life. So to start off, you know that we have a sort of the life cycle. We study that in school, probably going through the life cycle of insects or so on. Humans have a life cycle as well. And you know, of course, we start off as a little embryo, becomes a fetus, is born as a newborn baby, becomes an infant, a child, a young adult, an older adult who goes through the different stages until we get to the end of life. And I think the whole point of having a healthy life is to be vigorous and having vitality at every stage of the life cycle. So if if anti-aging, we sort of start to feel a little bit of the effects of the clock as women as we approach maybe our late 30s going on.
Right.
Although, listen, I've seen some pictures of Haley Berry and they're like 54 is the new 24.
That's true. She looks fantastic.
There you go. So really and truly, it really depends on the health of your overall being as an organism. So it's not really age as a number, but I'll say your biological age is more important. So there are many factors that impact on your aging. And one of the important things you might want to think about is you want to become sort of healthy and stable, vigorous and vital. Now, when we're younger, we go through sort of getting that knowledge to get to a point when you feel at your best. I mean, now I sort of feel at my best at this age, even though you go through different experiences to get here, and you sort of want to maintain that. So for me, I think the things that are very important in aging include your diet. We always seem to start with that here on this channel.
Don't we?
But why the diet is so important is because I think of with anti-aging, I think of this: try to eat living foods or whole foods.
Whole foods.
Yes, because things like preserved and packaged foods, they have a lot of preservatives in them. They have a lot of things that can sort of damage your cells over time. When I think of living foods and whole foods, these foods are, I would say, I call it the God diet sometimes. Like you can just think of one ingredient, like an apple, an orange. While you think of packaged foods, there's so many ingredients on there that you can't even, pronounce. So when I say the God food, I mean a carrot, an apple, corn, or even the corn is now, a little bit of a problem sometimes. But try to get foods that are vital, foods that are whole foods. A lot of times plant-based is quite good to do that. And if you can get foods that are organic, it's important. That could be helpful.
It can.
Yeah, because I feel like investing in your diet is one of the first ways you can impact on how you age. Because as we say, you are what you eat, right? Another thing that's vitally important, because you know that in any of our programs, we go through exercise. We go through the use of your body.
Correct.
There's so many things that impact aging in terms of your entire organ systems. We talked about the mind before last week. We talked about the gut. We talked about the bone and joints because, of course, with aging, you can think of the arthritis and the creaking and the I can barely move and the pains and the aches as one of the things that come along with it. So one of the things we need to do is to use our body and our joints in a very functional way.
Every day.
Yes, because I can remember when I started a CrossFit program, how it really helped. You might feel that it helps you to feel you're stronger when you try to even lift a load of laundry or lift some groceries, and you have that range of movement. Of course, you don't have to go to the CrossFit route. I feel like yoga, Tai Chi, and some other things like that, swimming, are just as important because it's just about using your body. Think about it. Astronauts that go up in space, they come back what? Shorter. They lose muscle
mass.
They lose height. They lose bone density. So being on the ground and walking and using your body is extremely important. We always emphasize, of course, some weight training here in our programs, as well as some cardio, because they're both vitally important in keeping your body working well. Another factor, we always talk about sleep here, because when you come to our programs, we assess your sleep at regular intervals. Your mood. Because sleep is vital. You go through those stages of sleep that we spoke about, and during that time, we told you how you regenerate your hormones, how during that time your body gets a rest. You need that rest so that you can metabolize things. Your gut needs to rest so it can digest properly. So sleep is something that if you don't get enough sleep, they do compare persons who have had, let's say, 7 hours plus a sleep a night and less, and how they biologically age, and there's a huge difference. So that's super important. They found that toxins impact your aging significantly, and I'll mention one: tobacco. Because smoking has been found, for example, if you go to a surgeon and you're pre-op and you say you're a smoker, what will happen? They'll probably think about cancer and vascular or elective surgeries until they know they can get your nicotine level under control. Because they find that if you try to make new blood vessels after you have a incision, it's very challenging to make new blood vessels. You might undergo necrosis of your skin. You might undergo infectious complications. So that's why it's essential with toxins, like, of course, we mentioned tobacco. Some jobs are pretty hazardous as well when you're exposed to significant amount of fumes. There are even some things that's carcinogenic, like some organisms like H. pylori. It's an organism that's found in your stomach. So things like even smoked and processed meats over a long period of time have been found to be carcinogenic and could impact your quality of life. So it sort of goes back to the overall toxins. They even mention certain clothes, because the skin is your largest organ. Although I'm pretty guilty of this, because those wash and wear things are so easy. But they do say that linens, cottons, and natural materials are less toxic, and these are the ones we would recommend. Another thing I'd like to mention is your mood and your attitude. We talked about mood.
Right, attitude.
Because
yes,
when they survey, they go to certain areas, like for example, the Seventh-day Adventists in California are known to be, they're able to live, extremely long and healthy lives. And you ask them, one of it is that they have a faith, an optimism, a belief in something higher than yourself. Because persons who are depressed, persons who have a low mood, their neurotransmitters are off, and oftentimes they don't make the healthiest decisions. They may lay around and not want to exercise or not want to eat well, and you find that the mood really impacts on how it sort of is an overarching thing that permeates every aspect of your life. So the mental health is one of the very important factors in anti-aging or aging well. And also, Lisa, you'll get into the supplements soon. But in terms of genetics, I always mention that because genetics, I think, is the future of medicine, as I've said. We know that, for example, you think about it, the telomeres, which are sort of little buds on the ends of your chromosomes, they sort of help to determine how many cell divisions you have. So think about it. You may have a limited number of heartbeats. I think about that sometimes. I say maybe I have 1 million heartbeats to live, and at the millionth one I'm done. Or your cells have a certain number of times to divide, and after that they're done. But researchers in Stanford have found that there's a telomere extension gene that they can actually help trick a cell into almost going back in time. More cell divisions means a longer lifespan. So I have a feeling that with these new technologies, people will be able to really extend their life. But I don't think it's just a matter of the amount of time you have. But make the time vital, make the time something that's meaningful.
Count.
And make the time something that helps you to live well. And finally, before Lisa starts talking about the supplements in detail, on the outside, your aging really shows. Because I've met a lot of people who tell me, on the outside, I don't look the way I feel inside. They feel like they're so much younger on the inside, but it doesn't show on the outside. So here at Libra Aesthetics and Wellness, that's why our focus is the balance of inner and outer beauty. You want that health, but you also want to show it on the outside. There are many things that you can do from a a topical standpoint to help your skin. We have so many things we can do with fillers, with neurotoxins, with the RF, with the microneedling, with the lasers, to help you feel your best on the outside as well. And of course, maintaining those changes with your lifestyle is the most important thing. So now we'll move on to some supplements that will help you on your journey of healthy anti-aging.
Well, I can say that on top of, I feel like I'm 13 on the inside and I look differently on the outside.
13.
Yes. Okay, maybe it's in their 20s. Okay, always in 20s. You always say you're 29 and holding. Okay, I get it. It's what it is.
With experience.
Yeah. I like that, with experience. It's gonna be my new line. So I do hear a lot about skin. I see wrinkles here. I feel this way here. I need a little tightener, need a little lift here. So I think cellular turnover is very important, and there is a couple of oral supplements that you can take along with some topical things. So of course you have the obvious exfoliators, which work best if it's a daily application, and that really just helps get the dead skin off. But we do have this great microderm abrasion machine here that can also help eliminate all the little fine lines and just the older looking skin, as it were. It'll give you a nice good freshen up and get you looking nice and tight. But from the inside, for cellular turnover, we have collagen peptides that you can take by mouth, which is actually granules. You actually can put that into a shake, or you can make it into a drink, and you can take that daily. You have amino acids, which help with cellular turnover, great building blocks to create great healthy cells, and are able to promote the longevity of the cell because it's nice and healthy. So it's nice and firm, then it passes on, and you just keep on going with nice firm cells. That's what we're looking for, right? So we got glutathione, which we spoke about in the past, which is a great detoxifier, which also helps get rid of any toxins. So while you're in the process of changing your diet and eating all of the whole foods that was suggested, and trying to go as natural and as close to one product items that you can get, along with being organic, these are the best ways to go as far as eliminating those kind of toxins from your diet, to help with that as well. So there's also hair, skin, and nail supplements that you can purchase, and a lot of them are just very generic wise, but they do have some biotin in there, which helps strengthen that as well. So those are just a couple little tips that I've got as far as that goes. Vitamin D, of course, as we age, we become more prone to chronic disease of osteoporosis, things like that. So it would be important for you to make sure you take your supplements with C, calcium as well. So that's just a few little tips I've got for you to add that are quite inexpensive, but can make a huge difference when you take them on a daily basis.
Yeah, and of course, talking about our anti-aging program here, we do have our 12-week program that you can join, and we sort of assess you at baseline. We check your laboratory data. There's a special lab we check, which is the IGF-1, and that is something that's usually pretty high when you're younger. As you age, that IGF-1 level can drop. And so we can check and assess that level. There are many ways and hacks we can approach it. We know we have peptides, we have the supplements, we have the exercise. You'll find it very interesting how that level can change over time when we do repeat labs. So that's another thing in our program. And as I said, we'll assess you at intervals, including your sleep, your mood. And I find that the persons in the anti-aging program, they look better, and they lose weight, they sleep better, and it's something that I enjoy.
Their whole quality of life, I love seeing the process as well.
Yeah, because as you say, it's not really what did they say? It's not the number of years, it's the life in your years. I might have gotten it wrong, but in terms of that, I think that's super important. So thank you for tuning in today. We love seeing you here in person at our office at 7955 Bay Street, right across from Sebastian River Medical Center. You can call us at 772-388-9155, or go to our website at liberaestheticsandwellness.com. So please, cheers.
Cheers
to another wine and wellness.
Great week.
All right. See you next time.
Thank you. See you next week.